All right, we got a whole new setup today at the studio. As you can see here, camera behind me, camera in front of me, because we are reviewing this right here, the Skylight Calendar. And this jumped on my radar, I'd probably say 3 weeks ago when I went to Costco. I saw the full display there and I really wanted to check it out. And Skylight literally reached out to me probably 3 or 4 days after I went to Costco, asking me if I wanted to review it. And I know this won't really appeal to all the people looking for like drone or camera reviews, but for me, having 3 kids, 13 and under, and after using it for the past few weeks, there's a bunch of features on here that I'd like to share with you. Something like this might appeal to you, so I do want to talk about some of those main features of this thing that I've been able to use, and maybe you might be able to find some value out of it. And I will be talking about those features that I like about it, and also some improvements I think they might be able to make on their next version. And before we get into the features, of course, what is the Skylight Calendar? Basically, it is a digital frame that allows you to see your calendar, allows you to see all of your tasks, your lists. There's a bunch of other premium features you can add to it if you wanted to add some things like rewards or use their AI tools. And for those thinking, I don't want to add another device because I have a calendar on my phone, I have a calendar on my laptop, I completely understand that. And the great thing about this thing is that you can actually sync those calendars with this one here. And of course, in this video, we'll be talking about the Skylight Calendar, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about this one here too, the Echo Show 15. Very similar ideas behind both. They are both 15-inch touchscreens. And when talking about calendars, the Echo does come up as an option because it does have a calendar feature. However, the Echo Show 15 is more, I would say, of a media hub because there's a bunch of other things you can do with this device. Those devices also work really well. However, here they are really focusing just around that calendar experience. And there's also some gamification on here to keep something like myself, keep little ones a little bit more engaged. And those are some things that I didn't see on some of those other calendars. All right, so let's jump right into the features that I really like. And the first thing is there is no subscription model to get this thing set up and get all of the standard features on the calendar. For me, that was like more the make it or break it feature. If you were telling me I had to subscribe even just to get the bare minimum stuff, then definitely I do not want to add another subscription model to all of my other ones. But here you actually get all the core features included when you purchase the calendar. And speaking of those core features, you do get the calendar integration. You get lists, you get tasks, you get chores, routines, you get the weather info, and you also get 24/7 tech support. Now, those were the core features which are included in your frame, like I mentioned. However, they do have a subscription model for extra things if you wanted that plus option. The first thing is Sidekick, which is an AI assistant tool built into the calendar as well as on your mobile phone app. Next is a reward system in here. So if you wanted to gamify your kids' activities, your tasks, your chores, you're able to do that and provide them some rewards, and everything's tracked within the calendar. And also they have an area for meal planning. So if you want to put out your meals for the week, put it all in here, add recipes to those as well. Now let's jump back to the calendar and just talk about some of the things I really like about this setup. Now, if you want to add new calendar events, pretty straightforward. You can either just press the plus icon here at the very bottom, type in all of your info for the event, or like I mentioned, you can actually sync it up to existing calendars that you might already have on your other devices. Now that was adding it through the actual device here, but of course you can add in your calendar events on the mobile app. You can add in all the things like your tasks, your lists, all of that can be performed here through the app on your mobile phone. Now, one of the biggest differences I noticed on the Skylight Calendar versus the Echo Calendar that's in my kitchen is the user interface. It's a lot more intuitive here on the Skylight. Also, you get a lot more detailed breakdowns of each one of your tasks or routines that you're setting up on your device. The Echo seemed to be a lot more limited as far as the parameters you can change. And again, because that's a more of a media device where you can do a bunch of different things on it, whether it's watch movies, check, stocks and all those things on that type of device, it's not really geared or focused on the calendar as much as the Skylight is. Now, the next tab we have here is tasks. And that's pretty much what I want to leverage this thing for the most. When it comes down to little kids, I'm just trying to get them used to being on a routine, used to being able to check off a task list of things that I expect them to do daily. I know if I get them into a positive and a good routine, that will then, of course, translate over into better habits as they start getting older. And having something like this on screen that they see every morning keeps them a little bit more, I would say, a little bit more accountable so that they know what they have to do. They're able to check things off. Right now I have it all set up where each one of them, they have their morning piano. So they'll just play their piano in the morning. Once they're done playing their piano, all they do is press the task buttons. Addison finished her piano. She presses that button there. It has a little animation up top. And also she's able to gain 3 stars towards her rewards. Now, like I mentioned earlier, that reward system is on that subscription, that plus model on there. You don't have to do it here. Because I already have it set up, she gains 3 points for playing her piano. And right now her reward is that if she gets up to 15 stars, she gets a little trip to Sephora to pick up something. And my youngest right now just wants to get a new Lego set. So that's going to be his reward if he completes all of his tasks. And when you set up those tasks, you can choose here when you want that to happen. You want them to do in the morning. You want to do something in the evening. Right now I have their evening set to actually read as well as clean. And each time they complete one of those tasks, they just come back to the screen, check it off. And if you do have that reward system on the plus side, they will then have that stars added to the rewards. Next feature I use the most would be this one here at the very bottom, which I kind of wish they just brought lists back up to the top because it is a standard feature on the calendar. So if they can reorganize the icons and navigation on the left, I would probably bring lists up right below task because it is a core feature. And then the rewards, meals, and photos would be down below because it is a plus option. But that's just me. Now, when it comes down to lists, I think this is pretty cool because every time now I need something either from the grocery store or if I need something to buy when I'm out there shopping, I will normally not add it on here. I will normally just add it through the app on my phone. Now it's added to my list here on my app as well as added to my list here on the screen. It'll then add all those items to your Instacart list here. Now I don't use Instacart, but if you do use it, definitely a pretty cool feature where now you can have all the items that are on your list. You can choose which ones you want to order, and then you can just hit submit. That Instacart feature is something that we have integrated here in Skylight. We do not have that option here on the Echo Show 15. The one thing I do like about the grocery list and the list just in general is that you can invite other people to your calendar. So my wife also has the app on her phone. So if anytime she adds something to it, it'll add onto the actual calendar itself, and it'll also add through my app. Once you add things to your list, as well as all of your calendar items, I like the fact that it is color coded per each user. So Addison has her own color, my son has their own colors. You can see exactly who is who on the calendar. Now with that subscription option, you do have an AI assistant, which they call Sidekick. Now to launch Sidekick, you actually have to do it on your mobile phone. You can't do it here on the actual devices. But some of the features you're able to do is import events, which turns PDFs and more into smart events, which will then add them to your calendar. You can import lists, you can import recipes, or I thought was pretty cool, you could take pictures of food that's in your refrigerator and it'll automatically build you out a recipe through the AI assistant. The ability to take a photo of things in your fridge is really cool. And like I said, it does create a recipe, but not only that, you can actually take photos of recipes. So if you found one in a book and you wanted to snap a photo of it, you can now do that through your mobile app, import that straight into the actual device. That Sidekick AI assistant is something we have here on the Skylight app. We do not have that here on the Echo Show 15. Now, like I mentioned, being more of a media hub, the Echo Show 15 does have a lot of advantages that we do not have here on the Skylight. While we do have a lot more options and robust features as far as calendar goes, the Echo Show 15 being a more of a media hub, you're able to do a lot of other things on it. In the mornings, my kids like listening to music. They're easily able to play music as well as videos straight through this interface. Also, you're able to customize your home screen by adding in a bunch of different widgets, whether they be things like stocks or kids games, or you can even control your smart home from this device. All of those features are things you can do here on the Echo Show 15, which you're not able to do here on the Skylight Calendar. And there it is, guys, the Echo Show 15 Media Hub. You have a lot more options on here if you wanted to use it as like an all-in-one device. And as far as the Skylight, you have a much more robust calendar system if you want to get a little bit more organized with you and your family. And huge thanks to Skylight for sending over these calendars for me to review. If you guys want more information on both these, they will be linked down below, or you can also scan this QR code right here on screen. As always, if you guys got some value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated. This is Alger Anastasio with FlytPath.com. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.